Hi, Monica. Are you able to share your screen when it comes to the video time?
You want me to drive today, James? I can do that. Not a problem.
Thank you.
Good morning to those that have logged in. We are going to give everybody a few minutes to get started. Know that people tend to log in right at noon, so we'll give everybody just a few minutes and then we'll be back to start today's program. Thanks for logging in, and we'll check back with you in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. Okay, I know we have people logging in a few minutes after, but we're going to go ahead and get started just out of respect for everyone's time, so that we will get done on time. Welcome, good afternoon to our sixth in a series of 10 webinars focused on affordable housing. It's hard to believe that we are more than halfway through this year and through the series. My name is Rita Blevins, Director of Professional Development for HAR, and I am your official moderator for today's program. As mentioned in the previous sessions, our theme for this annual program is opening more doors in 2021. And so each webinar will be geared towards educating the realtor community about programs, solutions, and opportunities for your clients in this ever-changing financial environment. So throughout the rest of the year, we hope to continue to provide information that will create more awareness and take away any stigmas that are associated with the idea of affordable housing. All sessions are going to continue to take place on the third Wednesday of the month from 12 to 1:30, just like today. And you can register like you did for this one at har.com/webinars. Today's program is presented by James. Help me say your last name.
James Cromartie.
James Cromartie. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to mispronounce that. And today's program is going to be centered around energy efficiency and renovation products for homeowners. But before I pass the virtual microphone off to our expert, I wanted to remind each of you to put your questions into the chat throughout the afternoon. You can choose for the questions to go to everyone or just the panelists, but we will do our best to field all the questions. We can do it throughout. I know that James wants us to be interactive, so if you have something come up and you think of it, go ahead and type it in the chat and we'll get it covered. I want to remind each of you that today's session is being recorded and we will have it available later on the HAR YouTube channel. But I think it's really important for us to do our due diligence to try to be present here now so that you can actually ask those questions that come up, because you might not have that opportunity if you're just watching the recorded version. So let's meet your specialist for today. James is a manager of affordable lending on the Freddie Mac single family lending client and community engagement team. He is responsible for rural lending and Native American lending and the Choice Renovation mortgage product under the Duty to Serve initiative. Mr. Cromartie has over 25 years of experience in the residential mortgage and housing industry, spanning housing development along with the primary and secondary mortgage sectors. Prior to joining Freddie Mac, he was manager of strategic initiatives with a nonprofit affordable housing developer and an account representative with correspondent lenders and Fannie Mae. Mr. Cromartie holds a BBA in finance from Howard University. So I think it's important to hear how, he knows what he's talking about. So we're so excited to have him here today. Thank you again for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to James.
Thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. Everybody knows that 25 years experience is code word for he is old. But I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to talk to you guys about opportunities to provide financing solutions to help your clients get into homes. We're talking about new homeowners. We're talking about move up homeowners. These solutions will be the way for you to close more deals and to get more people into the home of their dreams. And that's exactly how we're going to talk about it. Now, today we will focus on renovation and energy efficiency mortgages. They are very intertwined and very similar in nature. But one thing that they have in common is it is an excellent product and solution for your homeowners that are looking for affordable housing solutions. And we all know it's not as easy as it used to be, especially in today's market where these home prices are inflated. I was reading an article earlier, and the expert was careful to say, was trying not to say another housing bubble, but we are really looking at those kinds of home price evaluations at this point. So these products we're talking about today will help you find affordable solutions by concentrating, letting your specialty be aged housing stock. There's a lot of new construction out there, but it's not enough to handle the demand today. So it might make sense for you to really concentrate and to become an expert in selling aged housing stock. So today's topics, we're going to talk about the opportunity in the market today. I won't be sharing anything groundbreaking, but we're just kind of we'll do some level setting to make sure we're all on the same page. And this is also an opportunity to be interactive. If I don't cover something that you guys see and you identify as a major component in today's market, let's talk about it. Bring it up into the chat, and I'll make sure we talk about it at some point. Then we'll get right into the products that will be used today or be presented today for you to present to your buyers and actually make relationships with mortgage professionals who can actually originate these mortgages. I think that as real estate professionals, and I'll put myself in that bucket because I do have a real estate license here in the state of Georgia, but as real estate professionals, it's our job to have experts that could serve various needs our clients may have on the financing front. We need that mortgage originator that can originate high FICO vanilla product with his eyes closed, with their eyes closed, no problem. They can do them quick. You need somebody that can handle more challenge credit. Again, they can do it quick because they do it all day, every day. You need someone that could handle your jumbo loans when you're outside of these conventional lending. You need someone that could, in kind, do a renovation mortgage, that can do an energy efficient mortgage. So you have all of these people in your contacts, and that will be your go-to bench strength when it's time to sell a specific property that meets one of these needs that we just talked about. And the name of those products will be Choice Renovation. That's our higher, more comprehensive renovation product. And then GreenCHOICE. GreenCHOICE, as the name might intimate, is our energy efficient solution. So on the next slide, we'll go right into what we're seeing in today's market. So at a high level, I think I mentioned it already, we are seeing aged housing stock. And I think that is from East Coast, West Coast, from north to south. We are seeing aged housing stock in this marketplace. We have to figure out how to get people into this aged housing stock in a way where they can live comfortably in a relatively quick fashion. There's a shortfall of affordable homes for sale. Again, there are homes out there, but right now market prices are being driven up, and it's going to be hard to find affordable housing. We have a different workforce out looking for homes. We have a growing number of millennials that are looking for affordable home buying options. You know, the article I referenced earlier is stating that because these home prices are being inflated or are increasing or appreciating, we're locking out, you know, some lower income home buyers and new home buyers to the market that have not had a chance to really accumulate the kind of wealth to purchase at these current market prices. So we have that aspect of the market that is currently having trouble finding a home. And then finally, on the other side of the curve, we have the growing number of 55 and over people that have over 25 years in the business. They're looking to retire soon, or maybe they're retiring, and they have one or two things they want to do. They'd like to stay in the home where they are, but the home isn't quite fitting the needs of their current lifestyle. They're probably empty nesters. They want to do some updating, you know, make it more energy efficient, or let's just move and downsize. Let's find a different place to call home. So you have a number of different market segments that you need to be able to serve and serve efficiently. Did anybody put anything in the chat that I missed? I don't think I see anything. Let's see.
Nope, I think they just asked if the slides were going to be available. That was it.
Outstanding. So let's talk about what we're seeing today. 80% of the nation's homes, and I think the last number I saw was around 137, 140 million homes, are at least 20 years old. When we do our math, we're looking at 110 million homes that could benefit from some home improvement. Additionally, almost 55 million homes are at least 50 years old. Now, we have to believe that some of those homes, or a lot of those homes, could benefit from significant renovation. Now, we all have good intentions. When we buy our homes, we're going to maintain, we will change the windows when we're supposed to. We'll make sure the roof is in perfect condition. We will upgrade kitchens and bathrooms after a few years, but life happens. And a lot of times we let these maintenance items, these regular home improvements that we should be doing, we kind of let them pile up. And we do that, and I know it's true because right now the US market for home improvement is over $400 billion on an annual basis. So people are doing those kinds of projects. So it's important to be able to introduce your prospective buyer to that whole concept and to be able to show them how they can do home improvement and buy a house at the same time, a home improvement and possibly refinance a house at the same time. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Let's go and look at some more numbers on the next slide. We are going to dig a little bit deeper into the home improvement projections for this year. You know, why should you pay attention to what's going on in the renovation lending and the renovation real estate for today's marketplace? Renovation, home improvement is basically up in 42 metropolitan areas between 1% and 13%. And on a nationwide basis, it's seeing an average growth of 5%. Now, I did see an article from this same organization, the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University. They sent out a study today, an update, and I haven't had a chance to update my numbers, but they are saying that these home improvement projections are even higher for the second half of 2021 than they did when I did this slide at the beginning of 2021. So it's growing by leaps and bounds, and there are a number of different reasons why this is happening. We're seeing certain number of metros with growth above 6%, 17 metros between 3% and 6%, and the Sun Belt is really the region with the most average growth, and we're talking about 9% in that Sun Belt. What do you guys think? Why are we seeing this increased level of home improvement activity versus what we were seeing possibly in, let's say, 2019? Does anybody have any idea or any theories? Well, one theory I have is that we're doing things a bit different now. That I think COVID-19 has had a big impact on our lives in general. We know that. And it has also had a big impact on people's attention to their homes and really trying to customize the home for a different lifestyle. That's exactly what's happening, guys. Tyrone and Christina, you guys nailed it. So on the next slide, let's talk about, we're still talking about affordable lending, affordable options for mortgages, and to get your clients into homes. And with both of these renovation products that we'll be talking about, you can take advantage of Freddie Mac's low down payment mortgages. You can do Home Possible. Home Possible is our product for people with average median incomes of 80% and below. We have another product that's called Home One. That is for first-time home buyers, regardless of their income. So, and with those products, as well as the Home Finance Association Advantage, HFA agency, Housing Finance Agency Advantage. Again, that's a low down payment. We're talking as low as 3% down from the borrower. So that is a significant tool to be able to introduce your buyers to, so they will not have to come up with the 4, 5, and 10, and 20% for a down payment. So keep that in mind as you are talking to your lenders, and make sure they have these options in their toolkit when you're bringing referrals to them. Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to go right into choice renovation, and Monica's going to go to my favorite slide. And this is my favorite slide for a number of reasons. And get your chats ready, because I'm about to ask a question, 3 questions actually. I like this slide because I play a little word association before we get into the details and the guts of the slide. The phrases and words up at the top right-hand side, I want to do the word association with you. So when you're reading a listing, right, this is the scenario. You are taking buyers out, and you and your buyer are reviewing listings. When you see a listing that describes a property as, this is one charming property, what comes to mind? It needs work, right? What else? You know, I think, oh, this is charming. Maybe that's a small house. Bad, that's another good one. All right, how about this one? This is a vintage gem. vintage. I'm saying this house is old. Exactly, Christina, it's old. So Charles said worse, old and needs updating. All of those are how we translate those code words. And then finally, the dangerous code word of them all, this home has hidden potential. You see that, you're like, oh my God, do I need to even show this listing? And many homeowners and maybe even many agents will pass by listings that have these words in it. If they didn't know about these solutions that we have to effectively and affordably finance not only the purchase of the home, but the renovations that will be needed to turn these words from charming to large, vintage gem to updated and modern, hidden potential to it is ready to move in now. That is what we're talking about with Choice Renovation. Choice Renovation allows you to purchase the home, also to get funding to do the renovations. You also have the ability to fund up to 6 months PI and TI, just in case you can't live in the property while it's being renovated. You can also finance the soft costs associated with renovations, because what do you need to get? You have to get permits, you have to get plans, have to pay for draw inspections and get the specifications done. There's a lot of work and a lot of things that you have to pay for, and it doesn't necessarily have to come out of your buyer's pocket. They can finance that in the Choice Renovation mortgage. One thing that we are really concentrating on right now, at this particular time at Freddie Mac, is the last bullet where it says you can pay for resiliency upgrades, including retaining walls, foundation retrofitting, and storm surge barriers, because we're going to do a campaign, and you will hear about it soon, where we will be promoting these products as a solution to hurricane season, to the wildfires and the increased heat waves that we're seeing, especially in the upper West Coast. These kinds of issues, your houses need to be retrofitted or prepared and resilient against these natural disasters that are happening more and more. And you could do that. You could finance those resiliency upgrades with Choice Renovation. On our next slide, we'll talk about more details about it. So how much can you finance, James? You can finance not only the purchase of the home, but up to 75% of the as completed value. That means that before you can close on the actual loan amount, you have to have an appraisal that will take into account the upgrades that the buyer wants to have in the home. So the appraiser will come out, he'll take a look at the plans, and then he will give you an as completed value in that as completed appraisal. And we will allow you to draw up to 50% of the material cost at closing. So they have the ability to hit the ground running on closing day. It's going to happen in one close. So in one close, we buy the house and we get the amount of money for the funds. So real estate agents are paid, loan officers are paid, and we can start working. I won't go into the reserves, but we will require reserves, because if you guys have ever done any kind of home improvement projects, you start breaking down drywall and you find things, and your project increases. So it gives you the ability to do a broad range of financing. So I think I see a question in there that asks, what is a storm surge barrier? So in certain communities, think about New Orleans, for example. You build barriers to prevent water from coming onto your property. So it's a wall. That's what we're talking about there. So you can finance that on your property as a part of Choice Renovation mortgage. Next slide. This is a slide I normally talk about. When I'm chatting with real estate professionals, because they really like to know the details, not real estate professional, loan officers and loan originators. They really like to know the details and nitty gritty of what they can do when they're writing up this application for the buyer. But for you guys could know you can sell 1 to 4 units with this particular mortgage. You can do second homes, you can do investment properties. Now, after you get above 1 units, we will change the maximum LTV that you can do. So we may require more down payment as you get away from these 1 unit primary residences, but it is still a tool that can be used with your investors or your return customers that are buying a second home. It's really, really a flexible product. I already told you can do 75% of the as completed value in renovations. We do them for refinances. So just in case you want to refinance your home and do some renovations, you can do that. And again, we do most of our products, our fixed rate products, our ARMs, our affordable products that I talked about earlier. That is not the issue. You don't need to worry about, which mortgage product can we do? We can do them all. It's just a matter of making sure you understand what renovations your buyer needs to make that a home of their dreams. All right, and speaking of renovations, on the next slide, these are just some of the things that you can do. I won't go through all of them because it really is an exhaustive list, but it's basically you can do virtually anything except for 2 things. You cannot use the proceeds to raise a structure or to build a new dwelling. Other than that, you can do things that you have to have, like windows and doors and roofs, the things that would be nice to have, like you want to customize your house for those granite countertops. You want to switch out that carpet for hardwood. You can do that with this particular product. So you can literally be in the custom home business if you get you a lender partner that understands this product and you understand how to present it to a buyer. If they imagine this, imagine you've been showing houses, you found a house in the perfect neighborhood. It's in the right school system. It's near all the great eateries. You can walk to the restaurants. You can walk to shopping. It's everything you want, but your buyer says, this neighborhood is perfect, but something is not quite right about this house. That's when Choice Renovation could become a tool for you to sell and to get that person into the home of their dreams. It might not be the home of their dreams at the moment, but use your imagination and present this as an option to do renovations. Do you have to pay this money back? So yes, it is a mortgage. It will be a mortgage. So instead of you just getting a loan for the amount to purchase the house, like a typical mortgage is, you're going to get your loan is going to be a little bit bigger because you will get not only the $100,000 to purchase the house, but you can get $75,000 on top of that to do renovations to make that the custom home of your buyer's dream. All right, so I'll pause here for a second. All in one loan. Absolutely, Christina. This is all in one loan and even for investment properties. Now, with the investment property option, I'm not going to allow your investor to get in there with 3% down. They will have to put down more money, but absolutely, they can borrow money to do renovations before they put the house on the market. Any other questions on Choice Renovation? Because I'm about to transition to our energy efficient offering. Okay, seeing nothing coming up on the chat, I'll keep moving and we can talk some more at the end of the presentation if other things come up that you can't think of right now. All right, so GreenCHOICE. GreenCHOICE is, again, it is a renovation product just like Choice Renovation because you can get money to do what? You can get money to purchase a house, you can get money to purchase upgrades, but in the GreenCHOICE front, the upgrades have to be energy or water efficiency upgrades. All right, we'll talk about that as we get into it. So I like to think of GreenCHOICE as a streamlined green option for renovation lending. Remember, with Choice Renovation, you can go up to 75% of the as completed value. Now, for easy math, let's say your house is $100,000. You can borrow an additional $75,000 for repairs, significant. And for that, we do make sure the lender understands renovation lending, understands how to monitor construction, understands how to do draws. So we pre-approve lenders before we allow them to do Choice Renovation. because 75% of the as completed value, that's a lot of risk on a particular loan. Now, with choice renovation, we're doing this as a streamlined option. We want to make it easy. We want people to have a lower barrier of entry to participate in renovation lending. And with GreenCHOICE, instead of 75%, we're going to cap you at 15%. But instead of pre-approving lenders, any Freddie Mac lender can do GreenCHOICE. Instead of making them take responsibility for the loan until the construction is done, because you can, again, remember, you can get into this house before your renovation project is done. So we will make sure that lenders are on the hook for that loan money up until the project is done with choice renovation. We won't do that with GreenCHOICE. Freddie Mac will assume the risk. So it really is a tool where more lenders can get experience in renovation lending, and you can present this as an option to your buyers that are really interested in the environment and saving money on energy efficiency upgrades and improvements. Let's talk a little bit more about why that's important. So on the next slide, it's important because more than half of a household's energy usage goes toward heating and cooling. Now, keep in mind, we did that bullet early 2020, and I have not seen numbers on what that household energy usage goes into now that we all work from home, we learn from home, we teach from home, we play, everything is happening at home. So I know my home energy bills have increased. You know, kids are in and out of the refrigerator. You have the AC on all day long because I'm working this is my office now. I'm sure you have the same kinds of expenses and changing in expenses. So it makes a lot of sense. If you want to make living in your home more affordable, let's make the energy bills a little bit less. So that's important. The National Association of Home Builders also states that energy efficient features are among the top must-haves for today's home buyer. So we are all becoming more and more energy and environmental conscious, especially the past year or so. So it's an important thing to have as a tool when you're out showing homes and striking up conversations with your clients about what are you looking for when we go out and we're looking for this house. All right, so on the next slide, we'll talk about some more details. Again, we're going to go up to 15% of the as completed value. It's streamlined, so we're not doing as much as we were doing with the more comprehensive reno product, which is choice renovation, 75 versus 15. Now, again, this is an energy efficient product. So everything that gets done needs to be energy or water efficiency based for your home. And if the aggregate cost of the improvements exceeds $6,500, we're going to make you prove it by getting an energy audit. But if you're doing some minor upgrades, we won't require the audit if you stay at or below $6,500. And a lot of lenders, what we're seeing so far, to be honest, is people are doing the mortgage product where you don't necessarily have to do that energy report. Because I'll be honest with you, we're doing a lot of work with energy rating companies now, marketing, helping them market, helping them get into new markets where they might not be present at the moment. And it's a work in progress. So they're not in every market like appraisers. You can find an appraiser virtually anywhere. Although I'm having trouble in some rural areas, you heard Rita say earlier, I'm also responsible for rural lending at Freddie Mac. So that's another issue for another day. And I'll come on a webinar and talk about it with you, maybe. But you have appraisers virtually everywhere, but these energy specific raters are not as plentiful. So we're working on exposing more people to that particular industry, but it's just not there because it's a growing industry. But it always makes sense to get on the ground floor, if you know what I mean. We allow the lenders to deliver that loan to us before the project is done. And you know what is really cool about this product is we will allow you to do a refinance, the borrower to do a refinance and pay off debt that they incurred to install energy efficient upgrades previously. So let's say 6 months ago, you had a buyer go out and purchase solar panels, or you did that yourself. We will allow you to take out a mortgage and refinance your home and roll in the cost of those solar panels and pay off that other debt. Because 9 times out of 10, that other debt will be more expensive than mortgage debt is right now. So that's a great option that we created last year, and we rolled into this product. And we're getting a lot of play off of it, to be honest. And solar panels, just for your information, solar panels are our #1 leading improvement item that we're financing right now. All right, on the next slide, what do we have? These are some basic energy efficiency improvements that you can get and stay below that 6,500 mark and avoid that energy audit. You could do programmable thermostats. Who does not love their Nest thermostats? I love mine. Air sealing, you could get high efficiency air conditioning and heating units, solar water heaters, low flow water fixtures, all can come in under that 6,500 mark, and you can use that to make these energy and or water efficiency upgrades to homes. So we also, when we came out with this product, late 2019, early 2020, we did a research paper. And the paper was called Energy Efficiency, Adding Value Added to Properties and Loan Performance Study. So on the next slide, you'll see where we have a few highlights. We noticed that when we did our research, we had a finding that new homes that had an energy efficiency rating sold for 3% more than homes that did not have a rating. Better rated homes sold for up to 5% more than homes that had a lower energy efficient rating. So, you know, what does that mean? That means, think about it like miles per gallon on a car. The higher the rating, the more miles per gallon this car is getting, and the more you can get for it when you resell it. So that's the whole point of real estate, right? We want to buy low and sell high. And when you have these energy ratings and your home has energy efficiency improvements in it, you're adding value to your home. And then that last bullet is really more for investors, because we find that people who have energy efficiency improvements, they have a lower default rate on their mortgages than people that don't pay attention to these energy efficient minded items. So that's just another selling point for people to really pay attention to energy efficiency and creating a business plan around this particular industry. So what does GreenCHOICE, what does energy efficiency do for your home buyer and your homeowner? First and foremost, it makes your home more comfortable and probably lowers your utility bills. It gives you the ability to finance existing or new energy efficiency improvements in your home, and you roll into a low interest mortgage. So again, you are handling your finances in a very responsible way. You can purchase a home and finance all of this in one loan and close in one closing. And you have the option of closing on the mortgage before you even install these improvements. So it's all about improving your home and financing it into this low interest rate instrument we're talking about with these mortgages at these historic lows that we're seeing in 2020 and 2021. So on the next slide, this is just our Real Estate Professional Resource Center. Everything that I talked about, you can find more detail on it if you go to singlefamilyfreddie-mac.com and go to our real estate professionals page. We will have links to GreenCHOICE, have links to the Home Possible low down payment mortgage I was talking about, have links to a number of our mortgage products. And if you're like an information junkie, you can go there and get your fix. So with that, I am going to close out the presentation. And if you have any questions that I missed, let's talk about them now.
I think you covered it, but there was a question that said, what's the typical percentage for investors? And you may have covered that.
Okay, so for investor properties with Choice Renovation, for primary residences, 1 unit will allow you to come in with 3% down if you meet the criteria for home one or home possible. With an investor mortgage, that's not an affordable product. So we're looking at 25% down.
Okay. And then there was another question was, does solar panel invalidate roof warranty and insurance?
Well, I don't know about the roof warranty piece. I do know that if it is installed by a certified installer to the specifications of that that the roof installer, your warranty will not be void. Insurance, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know that it's happening all day, every day. And maybe you get a different insurance. Your insurance rates may change. I'm not sure what that will be, but that is something that I think that Monica and I will look up, and we'll get back to you guys about that.
Okay. Any other questions? Let's see. It looks like
Down payment on choice. So on Choice Renovation and GreenCHOICE, for 1 unit primary residences for people that meet one of our affordable product criteria, again, they have an income that is at or below 80% of the area's median income, or they're a first-time home buyer, we're looking at 3% down. If it's just a typical person that does not meet those income or first-time home buyer statuses, it's 5%.
5%. Okay, great. Okay. It looks like that's all we've got rolling in. So this was a quick one, but we got lots of great information. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate those on the call that are listening, just to kind of get some more information out there to their clients. Anything that can help provide potential home buyers or current buyers or homeowners with opportunities in today's market is always going to be a great asset and increase your value proposition as a realtor. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate everybody that logged in. This is the 6th in a series of monthly webinars. So we will be back next month for another session. That's going to be on August 18th from 12 to 1:30. You can certainly register just like you did for this one at hr.com/webinars. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, James. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of the week.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and attention.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.